In the heartland of America, beneath golden fields, vast suburbs, and quiet small towns, an invisible battle is being fought. It's not about politics or oil or technology. It's about something far more fundamental: water. Water, the single most essential element of life. The resource we all depend on, yet rarely think about. But deep underground, a silent crisis is accelerating. Vast aquifers, the hidden reserves that have sustained America's farms, cities, and industries for generations, are disappearing. They're being drained faster than nature can refill them. And when the water runs out, entire communities, economies, and ecosystems could collapse. This is the Great American Water Wars. Aquifers Disappearing. Welcome to News Nexus. Today, we're diving deep into the vanishing groundwater reserves, the farmers fighting to survive, the billion-dollar industries running dry, and the future conflicts that could erupt across the United States, all over water. Water has always been the lifeblood of civilization. From the first Native American settlements to the rise of modern megacities, every society has grown around it. We drink it, we build with it, we grow with it. We cannot exist without it, and yet in America, water has long been treated as infinite. Turn on a tap, and it flows. Irrigate a field, and crops flourish. But what most people never see is where that water truly comes from. Deep below our feet lie enormous natural reservoirs called aquifers, vast underground sponges of sand and stone that store ancient fresh water. For thousands of years, rain and snowmelt slowly filtered down, refilling them drop by drop. But for the past century, we've been pumping them dry. Nowhere is this more alarming than beneath the Great Plains. In the Ogallala Aquifer, one of the largest freshwater aquifers on Earth, stretching beneath 8 states, from South Dakota to Texas, it supports nearly 1/5 of America's wheat, corn, and beef production. It is the beating heart of American agriculture. But that heart is failing. In parts of western Kansas and the Texas Panhandle, the water level has fallen by more than 150 feet. Wells that once poured life into the land now suck only air. Farmers who fed the nation are watching their fields turn brown, and experts warn that in just a few decades, vast sections of the Ogallala could be gone forever. Once an aquifer is drained, it can take thousands of years to recover. Across the country, in California's Central Valley, the story is just as dire. Here, one of the most productive agricultural regions on Earth is literally sinking. Decades of relentless groundwater pumping for crops like almonds, pistachios, and grapes have caused the land itself to collapse, a phenomenon called subsidence. In some areas, the ground has dropped by up to 30 feet. Roads are cracking, bridges are twisting, irrigation canals are breaking apart, and every year the problem gets worse. When drought hits and rivers run low, farmers dig deeper wells. But the deeper they go, the older and saltier the water becomes. And in many towns across the Central Valley, the water that remains is contaminated with arsenic, with nitrates, with despair. Families rely on bottled water just to cook or bathe. Entire communities are being left behind. And it's not just the farms that are thirsty. Cities are too. Across the Southwest, in Phoenix, Las Vegas, Tucson, and Albuquerque, millions depend on a fragile mix of river water and groundwater. But as climate change intensifies droughts and shrinks snowpacks, rivers like the Colorado are running dangerously low. To make up the difference, cities are drilling deeper. They're drawing from aquifers that can no longer keep up. And in many cases, the water they find is too brackish, too mineral-heavy, or too far gone to use. We are entering what scientists call the era of groundwater depletion. Across America, more than 40% of irrigation water comes from aquifers. Water stored over millennia, now vanishing within decades. And once it's gone, it's gone. NASA satellites, through the GRACE mission, have shown something truly staggering. The United States is literally losing weight. Our landmass is getting lighter as groundwater disappears from beneath the surface. The Earth itself is changing shape under our feet. If that sounds familiar, it should, because history has already given us a warning. In the 1930s, the Great Plains suffered the Dust Bowl, a man-made ecological disaster caused by drought and overfarming. Millions were displaced, entire towns vanished. And today, scientists warn, history may repeat itself. Only this time, it won't be temporary, it will be permanent. No water means no farming. No farming means no jobs. No jobs mean no future. And without water, life itself begins to unravel. Meanwhile, as the crisis deepens, new conflicts are emerging. Not just between farmers and cities, but between states themselves. In 2023, the U.S. Supreme Court ruled on a rare case. Mississippi sued Tennessee, accusing it of stealing groundwater through excessive pumping. That battle, over an invisible resource deep below the surface, could be a preview of what's coming. Across the Colorado River Basin, 7 states are already in fierce negotiation over who gets how much water. Every drop has become political. Every allocation, a potential spark. Experts warn that America's next great conflict may not be over oil or ideology, but over water. As scarcity grows, the economics of water are changing fast. Large agribusinesses still consume enormous quantities, often in desert regions where water is most limited. In Arizona, foreign-owned companies lease farmland to grow alfalfa for export, using American groundwater to feed cattle overseas. To struggling residents, that feels like theft, like watching your own lifeline sold to the highest bidder. And while farmers battle to survive, Wall Street has discovered something new to trade: water futures. Yes, water itself has become a financial asset. The phrase liquid gold has never felt more real, but behind the numbers, there are human faces. In rural Texas, families spend thousands each year drilling deeper wells, only to find dust. In parts of California, residents rely on government trucks delivering barrels of water just to get through the week. In small towns, neighbors share hoses to fill bathtubs and buckets. Imagine waking up one morning, turning the tap, and nothing comes out. No water to drink, no water to cook, no water at all. That's already happening, here in America. So what can we do? Experts say the solutions exist, but they require courage and cooperation. First, we must reduce waste. Modern irrigation systems, like precision drip technology, can save vast amounts of water. Second, we must rethink what we grow and where we grow it. Crops like alfalfa, rice, and almonds are incredibly water-intensive, and yet they're being farmed in some of the driest regions of the country. Third, we need to restore balance through managed aquifer recharge, directing surface water underground during wet years to rebuild what we've lost. Fourth, we must recognize groundwater as a shared resource, not private property. And finally, we must innovate. Invest in large-scale recycling, desalination, and smart water monitoring to ensure every drop counts. None of this will be easy, and none of it will be cheap. But the alternative, doing nothing, will cost far more. Because make no mistake, when water runs out, peace follows it out the door. Experts warn that as aquifers vanish, competition will intensify between regions, industries, and people. And when survival is at stake, even allies can become rivals. We are standing at a crossroads. For generations, America has lived in an age of abundance. Endless land, endless resources, endless water. But that age is ending. The water beneath us is a finite inheritance, one we've spent too freely, too fast. Now, nature is presenting the bill. What we decide in the coming years will shape not only our economy, but our destiny. Will we learn to conserve, to share, and to adapt? Or will we drain the future dry, one well at a time? The great American water wars have already begun. They're not fought with weapons, but with wells, pumps, and pipelines. They're not happening overseas. They're happening here, in our fields, in our towns, and in our homes. The question is not if this crisis will reshape America, it's when. Beneath the noise of daily life, an invisible story is unfolding. And if we fail to act, the silence of empty aquifers will echo louder than any protest, any policy, or any promise. This has been the Great American Water Wars, Aquifers Disappearing. You're watching News Nexus. If you found this deep dive informative, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more stories that reveal the hidden forces shaping our world. Stay aware, stay informed, and I'll see you next time, right here where news meets truth.